I started. What's next? It takes 30 days to change a habit. And it takes 60 days to be consistent. And at the 90-day mark, you can really transform your mind, body, and wellness. 12 weeks is all you need. But in 2007, I didn't know it yet. Refocus your fitness lifestyle. Episode 2, my bodybuilding journey. It was around the year of 2007. I had been working as a personal trainer for about a year now. Doing okay. Started to get a hang of it. Watching people working out and helping with the journey was good. Yet finally being able to tap into the mind of the client who wanted to change their lives made me feel accountable. Yet, as I mentioned in my first episode, we all have to start somewhere. My mind started to shift, and I wanted to be accomplished more from fitness and health. And so I had started somewhere, right? I had started somewhere. Now I was here. What next? And although I was comfortable, with my exercise routines, I did lots and lots of cardiovascular movements, light weights. And after I saw a YouTuber share about her experience with doing her first bodybuilding show, something transpired in me. I had no idea and nothing about it. How she can transform her body took my breath away. Like not only when she was like she was very relatable and like down to earth, and that's what I really liked. Someone who I identified with. I considered myself personable, never really have been into fancy things, as I mentioned in my last episode. I went to school to learn about nutrition and wellness, and I broadened my mindset. I considered myself more street smart. I still do to this day. To clarify, let me clarify street smarts if those may or may not know. It's like having the experience and knowledge necessary to deal with the potential difficulties and dangers of life in an urban environment. And believe you me, I'll talk about my story later, but yes, I did talk about that in the beginning. I alluded to it. I did have some struggles in my first episode. I talked about it a little bit, but the mental challenges and the family dynamics and life issues, not being able to deal with it, I had to get therapy, and to be really transparent, some mind-altering substance were taken from me to help me better myself and my self-destruction. But just so I could be truly candid, I still suffer from anxiety, right? So anxiety, so exercising in such a high intensity level, being that quote-unquote cardio bunny, really minimized it. And so in this video version that I watched over and over and over again, I saw balance and discipline in that video. Watching the struggles, the cry to the finish line within the 12-week period was amazing. There was no fancy lighting when I watched it during the video, no big words that I couldn't understand, just really honest and somewhat shy about the journey, but she was very candid. And, I gravitated towards that. And she did it with minimal help. She trained herself, no help from a coach. I was in awe, you guys. I was in awe. But I put it in the back of my mind and continued my path with personal training and workouts, as well. I would do lots of cardio. I mean, lots of cardio. I would call myself, like I mentioned, a cardio bunny, working out at least 6 times a week with very light weightlifting. And this is around the time my tummy was being affected. In my first episode, I talked a little bit about now currently being plant-based. But in 2007, I definitely was a full carnivore. I'll talk about my tummy issues in a later discussion. But back to bodybuilding and my bodybuilding journey in this second episode. Around this time, I was also utilizing fitness videos as well, like Billy Blanks. Oh, Change Your Mind, Change Your Will, Tony Horton, and Sean T. They were so inspiring to me. They were so animated, so motivated. I even joined Beachbody, and they had events that I would go to, and I attended seminars, and I was just so in awe. Exercise, like I said, has been a key element in my life, since 2007. But I couldn't get that bodybuilding story out of my mind. So, although I was only a personal trainer, not only a personal trainer, I was a personal trainer for a few years, and I really enjoyed it. But this girl that did it all on her own, like I said, I was in awe, and she was able to transform her body, and her mental state of being. So why couldn't I do it? I'll tell you, self-doubt, insecurity, rejection. The show, would be something that would be for me. The only competition is me, right? The only competition is us, right? It could help with what I struggled with, which was, the self-doubt, insecurities, rejection. It could definitely help with my anxieties as well. And so I had to manifest it. The definition of manifestation is to make it happen. This initial, this was like a growing spurt, and I was working on balance. On my episode 1, I talked about balance. So balanced life. Let's go back to it. I'm going to go back to it because the definition of balance helps me, today. But I was still learning, and I still am today. But balance, being mindful, right? Access where you are at. L, learning to let go. I had to let go of my fears if I was going to do this show. You know what I mean? Alternative communications. And an N, the needs and wants for success. Yeah, clarity is key. And N, what are your needs? What was my needs? Yeah, because I've never done a show, at all. So, but I was able to transform my life in the beginning. So E, being effective and overall for long-term success. I started to dream about what it would be like if I competed. What would that even look like? What would I do? How would I get started? What is this bodybuilding stuff about anyways? How can I be a bodybuilder, when I am a woman and being so small? I have no muscle. And isn't it a quote unquote man sport? These are things I said to myself. I was very naive. Very naive. And it's a learning process. And this is how I thought. This is how I thought. I would also say things like, you mean you have to eat specifically? That was what was said in the video I watched. Wow, I didn't want to give up on that dream, but I would eat whatever I wanted because, quote unquote, I'm small and I can do that, is what I thought. I had absolutely no idea about the concept of a show. But I had to look up the definition. I wanted to look up the definition of bodybuilding. A person who strengthens and enlarges the muscles of their body through strenuous exercise. So I already did a lot of exercise, but I don't think I was doing it according to bodybuilding. So bodybuilders exercise regularly, in order to make his or her muscles grow bigger. Bodybuilder, to build the body. Transform the body. Transformation of change. Back to what I say today, change. Change is the only constant. Change your mind, change your lifestyle. I love that. Change your mind, change your lifestyle. But if I can be transparent, I'm gonna be transparent again. Being a bodybuilder was like, I just wanted to see what that was about, to accomplish it. Maybe it's time to make that dream a reality and start prepping for a bodybuilding show, was my thoughts. So I did. I did. I prepped for a show. And these are some of the questions I saw as I asked myself, could I really accomplish this? Like, preparing for my first bodybuilding show, bodybuilding contest, would definitely be a big decision to make. For me, am I ready to do these things? Like diet for a long period of time, dedicate myself to making every workout like it was my last, neglecting relationships, professional or personal. These are things I looked up, and those are things I had to take accountability to see if, would that affect me? Having to be motivated, have a goal, as I'm preparing for a show. I mean, I didn't want my clients, to suffer from it, or family, but I really wanted to do this. I really wanted to accomplish this. I had a conversation about it with my clients and family. And after I received support, from both of the family and the clients, I was ready to begin my bodybuilding journey. So it was a process. I read a lot. I learned that my training style was not compatible with the journey of the stage. So I let back of some of the cardio, which helped with my anxiety, right? So I was still worried about that and about doing it too fast, because cardio did help with my anxiety. But guess what? It all goes back to balancing. Applying the tools of it helped me understand that a lot of my anxiety I was feeling was in my head, which manifests itself in my body. So I was able to slowly alter my intense movements, and start to develop more detailed muscles. I chose to do a first figure competition in 2007, September 9th, 2007. That date means a lot to me. I can further talk about that later as well. But I would train for a regimen for 12 weeks, and then I would go on stage, right, to showcase my look. I wrote it on about my own routine. I wrote, and I watched what I eat. I bought a scale. I weighed my food. I drank a lot of water. I took multivitamins. Steady state cardio instead of high intensity cardio was what I was about. And I still had some digestive issues. But at this time, back in 2007, I was able to manage it. But one thing that I wouldn't do, which was what I did at the time, which was ask everyone else what I should do with my body. You know, as I know, as a person who trains others, there is no right way to transform your body. Yes, you know, we have a set point, you know, but everyone will be different. I'm very small frame, so all of the cardio I used to do, it didn't benefit me. You know, maybe like it helped a little bit with my calming state, but not for a show. Remember, you had to pick the show. I noticed that I picked the show, and I noticed at the event that it would include it said pro competitors. So I thought, oh my gosh, you know, competing against pros. Hello. Me competing against pros, I had no idea. You know, I thought I signed up for the wrong event, you know, but I even went to a pro show. You know, what it is, it's a nationals where they're trying to get their pro card, you know, and I was trying to watch the competitors because, like I said, I thought I picked the wrong show, a pro show, which I know I'm not a pro. I'm just a person trying to work on my bodybuilding journey. But I was really freaking out. You know, I was hoping that it wasn't going to be, I wasn't going to be doing a show like that. So these competitors were so cut, so detailed, you know, so ripped. I was trying to figure it all out. So my show was called The Cowl. It was September 9th, 2007. And needless to say, although it was a pro show, my class was called 35 plus figure competitors amateur. And if I can describe my stage presence as I walked onto the stage, I would see it as if I would be having an outer body experience where I know I was on stage posing, right? But it didn't feel real, but it felt wonderful. I practiced a lot for my posing and looked online, even hired somebody to help me. I did compete again, and I did that for 10 years. Placed top 5 each time. And later I did get a few coaches to help me, a coach professional, you know, to help me further my bodybuilding transformation. And my body responds best to being a bikini competitor, so I do that today. I had started in bodybuilding and competing in that episode, and I got top 3, and I thought I was gonna maybe try to get a pro card, you know, but I went and decided that my confidence, although it was strideful, it took some time, and I had to realize that you have to place top 2 or win a show in order to be a pro. So I was just decided to just have fun with it and put that on the back burner for now. But as I mentioned earlier, I still had digestive issues, and when I did a show, it seemed to magnify it, you know, and part my diet and also my cortisol levels, you know, seemed to get high toward the later part of me competing. So the last few shows, I decided to just eat fish, and then it worked for a while. But this very last show, I gave up fish altogether and started my plant-based process. And I was planning to do a show March 17th, 2020, yet pandemic happened, and everything was shut down March 14th. So the result is I am maintaining my overall health today, where I am, you know, I'm grateful for the journey of bodybuilding, and that, you know, I can take a look at that further, because like the process of doing the shows was amazing to me. But right now I'm really comfortable in my skin, you know, and my tummy feels great. So that's that part of my process, which was just such a great journey, you know. And today I look back on my bodybuilding journey with no regrets at all. No regrets at all. None. It taught me discipline, relaxation, body mechanics, you know, how to move with the workout, and most importantly, mental stabilization. I do not suffer from anxiety today. You know, I did not suffer from any mind-altering substances, and I don't today. And I use the tools of balance, which I talked about earlier. It takes, I'm going to bring it back. It takes 30 days, you know, to change a habit. And it takes 60 days to be consistent. And at the end of the 90-day mark, you can have a real transformation, which I did. And today I feel really good about where I'm at with my body, which is why I love the experience. You know, the health and recovery with wellness experience. So thank you so much for tuning in. You know, if you are interested, this is my YouTube channel, and you can connect with me here. I'm also on Instagram, Molly Freebird, and on Facebook as well, Body by Malaika, or Body by Molly, or Body by Molly. So, you know, this is my bodybuilding journey, episode 2. And stay tuned for episode 3 coming up, where I'm going to talk about fitness is medicine, or fitness as medicine. You know, what do you think about that? You know, these are questions. These are questions we could ask. And thank you so much for tuning in to my episode.